That's fun. It's definitely not coming. I changed the mic source, and it's not. It shows here that I have good audio. Yeah, it shows me getting audio. Look at this. There's definitely no audio coming out. Mad. Why would that be? Now you're live. Okay. Yep, I got it. Change the mic source. It's coming off the mic. Oh, it's coming off this now. Shows here. Also the good audio. So
It is.
Okay, pardon? Can you do that as shortcut again? Just Global Live or something like Voices Live?
Yes.
Change it again. Because it's this is something that shouldn't happen. That you don't get green dots like I was getting. It's something
just wasn't going through the app.
Something weird. Something on the computer itself. Okay, so I just don't need the mic, the long boom mic. That's okay. It's stuff you learn. Katrina, this is something now that we are live, okay? Mm-hmm. So like, what I'm going to do is, this will pick us up if we stand by that mic behind there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk to you, okay? Alan, can you tell me whether you should be in frame?
It should be in frame.
Because the thing is, are our heads cut off?
It's just a tiny limit.
Don't knock my laptop. Submit to my laptop, right? No, see, you got to think backwards a little. Okay, he's moving it towards us here. Yeah. Try not to knock the laptop. That's designed to be on the back of a lorry going through a cornfield. It's really Manfrotto.
Yeah.
So that can actually take a round.
Oh, Manfrotto.
Yeah, it's like a gallop around. Yeah. Take a Tom Murphy can move around. It does work as well. He's still in location states. Okay, it should look all right.
Center of frame, yeah.
Okay, look, I'm Bernie. I'm here with Katrina, and like, what's happening is I've asked her, how'd you get here? Now, everybody knows that. Because I collected her on Irish Rail, and even though there's background noise, this is picking us up. I know it is. So we're just going to set down the question, how you get here, and what's going to happen is some people may actually sketch that answer in a watercolor Moleskine notebook. And Liam Daly may do it for them, or they may do it themselves.
Well, as my artistic capabilities are frankly zero, I've asked Liam to mind drawing it from. I'm okay behind the camera, but with a pen in my hand, I'm absolutely brutal in space if he's doing it. So the idea that I have from how did I get here, I'm taking it a little bit more kind of figuratively speaking, rather than I got here on the train. So what I asked Liam to draw for me was a road with a fork in the wood. So if you think back to the Scott poem, the first line of the poem is two roads diverged in a yellow wood. And at the end of the poem, the poet goes through a journey and describes how he has a choice between two roads. And they're very different. One is easier, one is harder. Yeah. And at the end of the poem, the very last line is, and that has made all the difference, and he chose the harder road. So for me, I've asked Liam to draw me a picture of the road in the wood with the fork to describe the journey that I've come along, and that my journey might not have been very easy, but it has brought me where I am today, and that has made all the difference.
Cool. I'm going to make sure you ink it up. So he's just about done. We'll put the camera down so you can see what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then...
or shall I hold it up?
Whatever you reckon.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Yeah, once you sign the bottom of it. Liam, the next few you make, if anybody wants to do it, let's see if we can go double truck with it. So it's well, actually, it doesn't. Actually, I want to make sure it reserves. What you've done there is fine.
It's more than fine.
This is Liam's. No, I'm saying fine because structurally, I want to make sure when people open the pages, they don't get like Bono on one side and the edge on the other. It's like all Bono with you. It'd have to be. So in this case, it's all Katrina. Thank you very much, Liam. So like a subsequent one, if it's easy to do it on the right hand side, well then right-hand side edits and just keep the left facing clear. So
Okay.
I'll ask her just to put maybe the details over here under the,
Or I can put it underneath.
or just over, or even on maybe on this side.
Yeah.
Okay, because that didn't actually, when someone pages it, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
So there you are.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
man.
much. Do you want to sign it? Thank you.
Let's see if I can color pop you in that as well. You know what I mean? When I color pop you.
I'll say no. Is it done?
Right. I'm thinking I'm going to do it over your shoulders. You holding anything you want.
Right.
So, and then the software will remove everything but a certain color,
Doesn't have to be
or
right.
it'll put a certain color in.
Okay. That's
So I'm
great.
trying. I don't know what will happen on this. I think what will happen is I'll color pop it and just keep the green on the picture. I'm not sure. I want to try to color pop it over your shoulder.
Okay.
So I could probably do it. I'd like to do it with you, with your hand on, because I want to try to get a series of color pops with you, the artist.
I'm not sure that image in itself will lend itself very well to the concept, but yes.
No, it might, because maybe what we'll end up with is the nib of the pen itself becomes red. There's mad stuff you can do with this.
Okay.
People do it with, take a shot of somebody in a tense face, they'll change the person to black and white and just keep brown eyes. And that was really vivid, that end result. So I'm not even sure, you're right, the end result may not look so good. Yeah, so we'll just play with it.
Is that an iPhone?
It's a Nokia. Yeah, color pop is a word that's used in a lot of post-pro photo labs. Color pop's embedded on all the new Windows phones, Nokia Windows phones. And it's inside of the Nokia camera or something. So it comes as one of the standard
Do
apps.
you can do it hipster yet?
No, just to the beginning of the hair.
It is a brilliant movie. Oh.
Go ahead, give me the
As a girl.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
You're gonna pop it yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take a shot
It's a
anyway.
brilliant movie. Oh. I was gonna say, do you know Connor, what's his name, one interview, Connor Galvin? Well, so I'm just trying to. Come on. Yeah. He's 16 years here. and still trying to get
Here you go.
Just give it a well, the impact that I want is just any pencil or paper doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
Did Rich say he's hearing it now? Did you see anyone talking?
I'm just.
Okay, you can hear it. If you can hear it, everybody else can hear it.
Yeah, no, I can hear it perfect. So.
Yeah, that's right. Good.
You get your student coloring in?
Yeah, we're going to color you now, Stephen. I forgot to mention, Stephen's up next. He does an entertaining.
Don't tell him that, he'll leave.
Technology. Technology meets creativity meets education. Yeah.
I'm going to do a comic and instead of speech. What he does enough. Or the RTE
Yeah.
And I think the RTE is because I know they have processes.
Yeah. Very good. You're going out live on YouTube when you do this. All right. No.
RTE might send me. I used to work for RTE.
I think I'll see you.
Not going to see me. They don't know what YouTube is. Good point.
Do you mind if this goes out? I mean, right now it's live. It's meant to go live. I mean, I can pull it down if it's out. But there's about 4 people watching.
Yeah, there's 4 people watching, as long as it's not the Attorney General of our TV.
Yeah. I'm just tweeting the Attorney General.
So we're not going to say mad stuff. I don't know if I would be personally responsible for putting it live on digital. That's just my personal wonder.
Yeah. Right, let's just grab it back.
Where am I?
Pronunciation.
What's your name?
My name is Cortana.
Cortado?
What are you wearing?
Just a little something I picked up in engineering.
Who's your dad?
Technically speaking, that'd be Bill Gates. Let me know.
What's the fox name? What does the fox say?
Ding, 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 ding.
Sing me a song. Sing me a song.
Previous track. I'm sorry.
Sing me a song. I don't know, sing me a song. Hello? You all hear me? He's outside. You can't hear me? Very good.
Oh, it's open.
I don't think they mind me talking. Mike is live, which is for every live night.
Control things back, John.
No, 3-2. Great thing now is like Tuesdays is short time. Actually makes me good. Next question.
can hear the bell ringing. It's good to know you're back in school on Saturday. So we're just waiting for a few people to come in and then we'll kick off again. Okay, folks. We're going to kick off with the part of the session. Just a few pieces of housekeeping before I introduce Stephen. Just double checking if you need to connect to the Wi-Fi. The idea is the ICT EDU SSID, and the password is educate10n14. So it's EDUCAT10n14. It's on the inside of the program. If anybody's having difficulties, just go to the reception desk and one of our IT people can help you there. I will thank them again at the end. Particular thanks to our sponsors who have supported the conference this year. I think we've certainly stepped up our engagement with companies and organizations this year, so it's great to have them here. We'd really like you to take some time to visit our stands, which are outside. Lights have been left on in a red polo, 05TN1078. You don't need to stand up right now, just discreetly go and turn them off. Somebody lost or left a set of earphones down somewhere, so I'll leave them up here if you want to come collect them later on. And just again, if you're interested, one of the workshops straight after Stephen's talk has been unfortunately cancelled. Lisa Domican can't make it, so it's on the green stripe. It's on Autism 101 and how technology can support inclusion. Unfortunately, Lisa isn't here today. And after lunch, Brian Daly, also Cloud at the Chalk Bay. Brian couldn't make it today. So lots of choice. When you're going to your workshops, if you can't find a room, some of the people that you met at the reception will be able to direct you. So just ask any of the organising committee, and we'll try to get you around. So, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Stephen. Stephen has been on this campus, I would say, every week for the last 3 or 4 weeks for various different things. Microsoft have a very good relationship with this event and with LIT in general, as they do with lots of other IoTs across the country. We're very happy to have them here, and particularly the engagement with Stephen and Michael Maher has been very productive from our point of view and for our students over the last number of years. So Stephen is going to take you through a very interesting talk about how makers can be introduced into the classroom.
Hello everybody. I was going to give a presentation that was heavy on slides because I've never made slides before, and I thought now that I work for Microsoft I should try it. So I made this slide. I'm very proud of it. I expect a better reaction. So I'd like you to live tweet this presentation. I'm Al Sarro, and the hashtag for ICT Edu and the @ is the Twitter handle is ICT Edu as well. If you're not on Twitter, you really should be. It's probably the best way for everyone from a newly qualified teacher to a long experienced industry professional to get your message out there and to communicate with people. You don't have to tweet, and what a lot of people say, is the downfall of social media, meaningless things that no one cares about. You can tweet just your opinions in education, you'll find someone to listen and disagree with you, no matter where you tweet from. So what I wanted to focus on today is that a lot of the presentations that I saw last night at the Teach Meet Sassy, which is in this room, and a lot of the presentations on the wall, and nearly every workshop, focuses not on the traditional curriculum, including the ones that we're still developing for digital media literacy and the junior cert and the coding short course, and all of these curriculum which are vitally important, but really they're identifying and filling a skills shortage or a perceived skills shortage, possibly from up to 10 years ago. So there's a life cycle that you all know about as educators, where a deficiency in the outcome and skills and the learning outcomes and all that stuff is identified, and then we spend years coming up with the perfect syllabus and curriculum to fix the problem. And by the time it's actually rolled out, and by the time the students have actually gone from identified problem to going through their primary and secondary education, and then finally going on hopefully to third level study computer programming, all we have got is a long-winded way of making them hate ICT and computer programming. And wouldn't it be better to embrace the undercurrent of the maker culture, which we see in Coder Dojo, we see in those after-school clubs that you post about necessity list all the time, we see in the Makey and the Lego, that whole approach to, well, if there isn't a syllabus, I'll go make one. And I mean, we have Polly there with rockets and all sorts of nice stuff, space cadets, literally. And we have, everyone is individually, probably in this room, is doing something to progress the ICT and the innovative maker culture in their students. But you're not following the curriculum, because there is no curriculum there for you to follow. And that will change in time, but by the time the curriculum has finally caught up to where you are, it'll have all changed again. I was at a presentation last weekend where a company in Dunleer, the best small town county lad, which is also the best county in Ireland, he's got MCOR, they're a 3D printing company, and they have a 3D printer which they sell to businesses, they don't sell to consumers yet. 20 grand, they give you lifetime supply of blades and paper, or not paper, blades and glue. And you put in 3 reams of A4 paper, and it cuts a shape out of them and glues it as it goes, and you have a full colour shape by the end of it. This is incredible. I mean, can you imagine having that in your classroom? But I know teachers, Susan Etienne, I can't pronounce it, Etienne in New York, was at the Scratch conference in Barcelona last year. She couldn't wait to get home because the 3D printer for her art class was waiting for her to unpack. And many of you here have a 3D printer, surely some of you do. Someone's got a 3D printer? I know my local school has one. That could be beside because they're beside the 3D printer manufacturer. Okay, so wouldn't it be cool to have a 3D printer in your classroom? Is there any class that would benefit from that? Now there's a little echo here because I'm on this and this. I don't know. Is it upsetting anyone? No. Okay, so I'll keep going. So what I wanted to do today, is that better?
Yeah.
So what I wanted to focus on today is, I asked last night what I should do, and I know it was in the pub, and Mary Loftus and various other people said, don't do slides, Stephen, that would be terrible, you've never done slides. We wouldn't understand it anyway, it'd be cruel and unusual punishment for you. So instead, it shows how to do something. So I want to focus on, I have a little app here, which is free, and it's called Project CN. And when I go out and do demos from primary school, secondary school, and up to third level, I did this demo I'm going to do for you now with FIT, the students who've been out of work and want to get back into education and are doing a computing course. This goes down really well. I've only got one other demo which is more visually impressive, and that's the making of the 3D games you saw on the wall. So I'm not going to do that. That's for the workshop later on. But this is different. This is taking content like your news feeds. So you all, every morning you open up your web browser or you open up an app if you've got a smart device or mobile device, and you look at your news, okay? If you're a news hound like me, you'll check Irish Times, Irish Independent, your RTE, you'll check them all. Now they all have repeated news, and that's okay. The challenge you give to the students is, wouldn't you like to be able to make an app like this that pulls in all the different feeds? Maybe it's about your GAA club, or maybe it's about your school, but it's a news app with the content that you've identified. Now I'm not going to do that for all of you because you're all from different schools. I'm just going to take RTE, and I'm going to make a news app for RTE. I'm going to make it live in front of you. And that will kind of go some way towards explaining why there's pictures of Eileen done on my computer. But the main focus of this is to say that there's no programming here. We probably talked when I said I'm going to make an app that I was going to break out Visual Studio and start coding in C#. And I do that demo, but usually it's with James's students who are computer programmers. I know there's some computer programmers here. I know there's some Scratch experts here. This is easier than Scratch. Okay. So let's make it. So here is Project CN. It starts off very blank. It's a white canvas to go starting. And I'm going to add widgets. A widget is just something I can see on the screen. And by the way, if you have any visitors here who don't know what RTE is what the BBC would be if we lived in an alternate universe. So we now go in and we say RTE News. And the color logos, and I know this because I asked someone, are blue and white. So I can actually go in and say the color of this text should be white, but the fill color should be blue. And again, you see, I haven't done any programming, and please stop me if you see me programming. So, RTE News, headlines. Now, again, I'm actually going to have at the end of this an app I could publish in the Windows 8 store. I will not publish it because RTE will sue me because I don't know the right side being done, even though I have pictures of her on my computer. Now, so, I used to work in RTE for my student work placement when I was in UCU, and I wrote the software which plays ads on Radio 1. I apologize for this, and I've apologized many times. Now, so here we go. Image. I'm going to add an image. Very Eileen. Once you're there, maybe we should go on to pictures. That would be better. So this PC, pictures. And there we go. Eileen done. I knew you were waiting for me there, Eileen. Okay. So here's the picture of Eileen I prepared earlier on. And again, I don't own the rights to this image, and I don't claim to either. But our app so far, if I actually hit F5, there's my app running. It doesn't do anything. I mean, if you sold this app, you won't get any money for it. But there you go. There's Eileen. She's going to present us with the headlines. So to do this, how do I get the headlines into my app? And this is probably the hardest thing I talk to with the students. I say, out there on the internet, there's lots of data. And what's data? Well, he's guiding Star Trek. And what else? And you talk about how this information is being published by the content providers, such as RTE and the Irish Independent and BBC, and they're all publishing this. And they publish it in different ways. And one of the ways they publish it is an easy-to-access form of headlines, which contains sparse data. It just says the headline, with the description, the day it was published, it might say who wrote it, RTE don't give you that, and then finally, it gives you a link to the website where you can read the rest. This is called RSS data, really simple syndication. And John Herfman last night spoke about Arnold Schwartz, and it's exactly, he was part of the group that came up with this idea. It's a really easy way of just publishing content. So all of you who are, who's here got it wrong? Yeah, okay, on WordPress. Okay, if you do /feed at the end of your WordPress URL, it gives you an RSS feed right to it. And you didn't even possibly do it. So you already have an RSS feed. So I want RTE's RSS feed. So while I was waiting for you all to come in and the bell was ringing, I went and got it. Now, how I got that, I'll show you. I simply went down to RSS feed. I pasted in the feed. How did I get that? Well, I went onto RTE's website. There's a little logo. You've seen it on every website that has used. It's orange with a little white dot in the corner, and then arcs coming out of it. Click on that, and it gives you this little URL here, Uniform Resource Locator. And we copy that, we import the data, and there's our data. So it's a link to the web page, the title, and the description. So when I come back now, I want to display those headlines, which are going to be different every time we run this program, assuming our conference internet keeps up, which it has been so far. I'm on the Code Dojo now. And we go in here and we select gallery, and it's going to be a text gallery, very simple. And I position this over here. And you know, most of what I'm doing here is deciding how it should look. So when I click on heading, and well, first of all, before I do that, I say where I get the data from. So I select one. And then over here, I select my headline, and I select what it should display. So I say title, and you can see that man June Court over fatal Kilkenny something, thousands take part in darkness into light. So I already got the headlines code in. I think maybe next I'll put in the date. So I don't know if you can see that, it's a little bit bright. Hopefully you can. And then finally the description. Now I'm going to reformat this now, so it's easier to read. So at this point, I have complete control over how this is displayed. So I'm going to change maybe the template padding a bit. There we go. I'm going to move things around to make it fit better. Move that down there. And then I'm going to increase this. So what I've got now is a more, hopefully, readable. So I said that before I accidentally moved something up. There we go. And now the date, this font here, I think I'll make it a bit bigger. You can see I have complete control over how it looks. Maybe a little bit smaller. I'll make that bold because it's the headline. The color, I think, will go with the colors we were talking about earlier. We'll go with a white color but a dark background. And again, I'm not programming here, am I? I'm selecting the colors. This is about as hard as PowerPoint. So we'll click here and we're going to line it on the right. We'll make it red, nice red color. And we keep going until we have, now again, you would have different taste than me. I'm no visual designer, I fully admit that. In fact, I didn't have to tell you that, obviously. And we can end up with a app that looks the way we want it. Now, I might do that for that as well. So, when I press F5 now, I've already got a scrollable. I haven't done any programming yet. So I can see that the area is cabin crew vote for industrial action. I can see the date it was published, and I can see a little bit of a description about it. Now, again, I could go in at any point and say, you know what, I don't really want the date in it. We're going to assume that for the latest headlines, we're going to delete that date, and we're going to make the rest fill up the area like that. And it's ready to run again. So I'm actually running that as an app on Windows 8 right now. But we're not finished yet. Eileen, she's great, but we actually need to see the news story. I need to see the story I click on. So I want to add in, and this is the heart of the coding. Are you ready? Okay, brace yourself. Computer coding ahead. I wanted that if I click on either the headline or the description, it opens up a web browser, internet permission, that shows that story on your website. That's all I want to do. But that's computer programming. So I click on the headline, and down here, I don't know if you can see it says on select, which is hard computer coding speak for when this is selected. So I click on that, and brace yourself, here's the coding. I want to launch a web browser. The command to launch a web browser is launch. Can't spell. Open a bracket, and then link. Because the link was provided to us in that information from RTE. And they called it link, and I didn't rename it, so it's the link. Okay? So that's computer programming done. Okay? As you can see, you are now, if you've learned that much, an elite hacker. And we'll now click run, and I'll click on that, and it opens up a web browser. And if we've internet, there we go. And I can close that over, and further sanctions against Russia. And there we go, further sanctions against Russia. Maybe we'll go down here, and oh, there's been a fire report. Oh, no one left anything on. There we go. Okay. So, I wanted to change it though, so that if I just click on the story, it does the same thing. Can I do that? Of course I can. I can go in and affect the behavior of everything. But I just want to, before I do that, I'm going to show that I can add other widgets. There's that little button over here. And add this down here. I'm going to name this button About RTE News. And I wanted that if I click on that button, it opens up a new screen in my app which has information about this app and RTE News and who Eileen Dunn is and all of it. So I can add more screens. So I'm screen 1 and screen 2 now, very imaginatively named. and I can add more information here. I can add video players, audio players. I can take a camera input. I can take a picture of you. Pen input. If you have a pen-enabled device, you can write on it. Toggle switches, radio switches. I have the whole gamut of things that you can use in a computer program. So all we're going to do is put a back button though. So we'll put it back out to go back. And I'll say, when this button is selected, navigate back to screen 1 using fade. So can you see that there? I don't even have to type that in. It does it for me. So if we run now, and I press this, it should fade back. There we go. So I want to say that the RT News button should navigate to that screen. Again, select navigate, drop down menu screen 2, and I'm using different transition, recover. So we press F5, and I can press RTE News, and there we go to our new screen. And back again, and open up our new screen. And you can have as many screens as you like with all the information. So why did I show that? Well, a lot of the talks I give are about enabling young people, both still in education or returning to education because their chosen career has hit a downturn in the economy for whatever reason. And they're picking doing something in ICT because there might be a future in that. And there's many people in this room who have similar experience. Having the ability to show in an interview a portfolio piece is critical. And lots of people will tell you now, you don't go into an interview without a portfolio. And that portfolio could be a website about what your achievements and things you have. It could be links to the events you've participated in. Or it could be an app. Imagine how powerful it is for a graduate to be in an interview and to be asked, well, what's different about you? What makes you passionate about computer programming? And say, well, in my spare time, even though it's not part of my coursework, I make apps. Well, okay. Now, they might ask what type of apps. You say, well, I play for my local chess club. I made an app about my chess club. It doesn't really matter what the app is about. I made an RT News app because I love RT News. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that you made it. And you can take out my tablet and I can show you the app. That's powerful. That's saying, I'm inspired beyond the traditional coursework I had to do, and I went and made something a bit above and beyond, and here it is, I can show you that I'm passionate. Usually that will involve having to be a computer programmer, but that app is actually finished. If I own the rights to it, I'm done, I don't. But if I did, I could publish that app. There's one button click and it gives you a published package ready to go. You submit that to the Windows 8 store. It takes about an hour to be approved, and then you're in. And then you charge, you could say this app costs, €1. I wouldn't because I'm in Sudi, but you could say that. And it gives you those toolkits. You can actually add in advertising, whatever it is you want to add in. I don't have any here. But what's important for me is that it gives this to you. And if you are a programmer, it'll give you the source code so you can go work on it. So it's not a closed environment where, it's a black box, you can't really see what's in there, just press the buttons and it gives you something out. No, you can open this up and have a look at the goods underneath. So I'm going to show you just one more, I don't know if you can see it. So I have a friend, and I've shown this app a few times, but the app is Cuisine Ireland. If you've Windows 8, please download it. It will help me download stats. You don't get anything for that, but just make you feel good inside. And Cuisine Ireland is an app I made in my friend's kitchen. He's a lecturer in DIT in culinary arts. His name is Dermot Seabury, amazing guy, because he spends all his time taking photographs of this amazing food that he can cook that I can't, but I do like to eat it. And he then puts them into cookbooks. And he won the Irish Times Cookbook of the Year recently. He's going for the World Cookbook of the Year. And it's, I'll tell you the name in a second because it's very hard. It's a culinary journey of the Northeast where we're from. And I was over in his house because he makes good food and he has lots of wine. And he told me that he had gone for funding from County Louth. They have these different funding programs. And they really liked his book, but they said they weren't going to fund him because he didn't have an app. And he approached a couple of people about getting an app made, and it's big money to hire a programmer to make an app, this, and we programmers, we cost lots. And I thought, well, I've got the laptop in the car, and I just got Project Sienna. Do you have the pictures in a way I can easily put in here? Yeah, he had them on USB memory key. So what format do you have the recipes in? Oh, they're in Word format. Okay, so I was able, the hardest bit was to copy all the images off his computer onto mine, or off his memory stick onto mine. So that wasn't hard. Then this bit was a bit tricky, opening up the Word documents and copying and pasting the recipes into Excel, because Project Sienna uses Excel as its database. So once I'd done all that, that took about, that took half an hour of copying and pasting. And then we made this. So the entire time of the work I'm about to show you was less than 2 hours. And this is the finished app. And this is in the store. You can download this from the Windows 8 store now. If it makes you feel hungry and sorry, and maybe will be lunch later on, you can scroll down and say, oh, I like the look of Bellingham Blue Brulee with broccoli couscous. No, okay, so let's go to Boyne Valley salmon, the best salmon there is. John McCoo ate American salmon or American salmon at the end, and it's very good. Yeah. So it gives me the ability to look at, it gives me the ingredients, tells me to gently saute, I don't really know what that means, dip each ribbon, get 1 teaspoon of peeled brown shrimps, turn the fish, you know, give me all the instructions to do it, and I can go back at any time. I can go into, well, I'll have a bit of lamb rump, and then I can go in here and I can say about the chef, and it gives me all about Dermot. I just pull that off the website, and then I can take this and it will bring me to the website to buy his book. So Dermot treats this, the app is free, and I made it with Dermot, we made it in the evening in his kitchen, and he treats it as, here's 15 recipes for free, but there's 100 in the book, including those 15. And it doesn't give you the option to buy the book and have it shipped to you directly, it just gives you the website, you can do what you like after that, you already have an infrastructure. So that's an example of an app you can make in Project Sienna. Don't please publish an RTE News app with picture volume done unless you own the rights, but you saw how easy it was for me to make that. So if you're not a programmer, and I know most of you aren't, but this is what I want you to take from this. If you're not a programmer, we understand that. But you do want to inspire your students. Wouldn't it be cool for them to come out at the end of the year with a portfolio app, and instead of a list of recipes, it's a list of projects they've made for you, or all the other teachers. And then when they click on it, it opens up with a picture of the project and a description. They'll make that in less than a week at the end of the semester or the term, once they have all the project work done. And that's a powerful thing they can bring home to memory now. You can even stick it in the store for Brandy in America or wherever. And I think that's very good. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Stephen Howell, and Microsoft would like to be here today. Please have a chat with Finch. You can see him at the back. There is a stand outside. And thank you all for listening.
Okay, folks, now it's time to disperse to the various workshops. So, pick your workshops. We are running about 10 minutes late, so we'll run a little bit into lunch. We are going to try and make it up. So, after lunch, we want to be back here back in your workshops at 2:15 directly. Okay, so enjoy.
I'm trying to publish a book I just don't know what I'm supposed and like I know out you can see like content right happening I don't know what to and I reply to it takes space you know, it's yeah, well, no, I want to get to the point that you get to hang on, from the time that I submitted, I think I should get it before, like, it's a week at the moment, it's going, like, it took us 3 days to it's going to take us 9 months. I'm trying to find to see what the so you're going to see these next. Yeah. Here we go. Stephen, show me. No. It's one little top.
The teacher trying to publish
No, it's not.
keeps getting error.
I'm trying to find what the.
There's a friend of mine in London published a big short
Well, it's just the lack of color. I look up and do what they want.
Yeah, it just tell you what to do.
Tell me what to do rather than giving me some meaningless statement saying only complete books.
That's your speech. That's your speech.
Oh, thank you. That's good.
Yeah, sweet. Together. If you want to have.
Here we go.
I'll have it, and I'll just tell you the bit that I would be more
Bits like you
confident
want to take
on.
out. I will put it on like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
This is what it just says.
Sample list. Yeah. Sample Okay, so hold on, let me see that. Each get there. Okay.
And I just replied to it and said, this is a complete list. But are they picking up on the fact that, oh yeah, well, I've said this book is, you know, is one section of the Leaving Cert biology course, and they expect me to write a book covering it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's down to syntax. They've just checked and they've come up with some words, and I've obviously used the word partial, or you know. But if they just told me eliminate the word partial out of the introduction to the book. And then it says C for, you know, the books are formatted.
I know this guy.
Yeah.
And then if I could wait a week and then I can get no response.
And also, when you're in the flow of doing something like that, you just want to go, boom, here it is.
Yeah.
And there's an adrenaline to
The idea
that.
was that we thought, oh yeah, we get this done, we'll get the book submitted during these holidays, so that December we can show it to the teachers, say, before they disappear in summer. So ready to go, like, maybe it'll be September,
And
you
that's
know,
different then. And you never have the same enthusiasm about projects when you're talking about months afterwards.
Yeah, so it's just, yeah, the fact that the first feedback was, oh yeah, well, sorry, you used the word like books forward. So I said, yeah, this is our first one. Sorry, you can't use the word.
Differentiation or something, no, that's what we did accomplish.
You know, so.
And I'm studying it.
I know, but like, it can be it's kind of, and the includes that, I mean, and the fact that you don't know where this stuff is done, like, what part of the world is the first few days.
Yeah, yes.
It's so universal.
That's exactly it, yeah, to tick boxes that you've done it, yeah, that's exactly it, yeah. I know you're talking about too much, or emphasizing too much, and you just, you know, we need to take a step back and use it over.
I know.
Every time I look at the papers, it's there, every time. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
a very talented artist, and what he's doing is he's drawing the keynote speakers and what they're talking about.
Oh yeah.
So he's doing live art.
Yeah, it's another government here, that's true.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
Trying to live draw the presentation and a demo that wasn't really that was tricky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So I'm just going to interview you guys on this stream. Do I need to tweak the? Do I need to tweak?
I don't think so. I think you're all right.
Okay.
Yeah, you're both perfectly in frame now.
Me or the boys?
Both of you. Yeah, you and.
Finn.
You do that.
Yeah.
You do the camera stuff on.
Yeah.
So right, Finn, you come over here.
So,
Okay. So remember what I said, look into the camera. Actually, I'm going to get you to hand that up to Bernie and get him to record it. Bernie, we're going to record so they can pop it straight into the EPUB.
just
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't stop it at all.
I think you can just sit there.
Answers my question.
Okay, so remember, look straight into the camera. Okay. So I'm going to stand off camera a little bit, and you guys are going to ask the questions, and you guys are going to straight into the camera and tell you what you've done. Right?
I mean,
So
so,
you're asking some
Wait.
questions. So stay
I wonder whether
Yes.
we can.
did you?
We can ask these guys. I'm gonna ask. Can we ask you guys? Can you go to the back of the room?
Yeah,
Is that right?
sorry,
No, no, you're okay.
Sorry.
Okay, no, because you're live on YouTube.
that's a great story.
On the mall, don't
At the back of the room.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm going to ask questions directly to you guys. You can look at me and then you can make it. No, but actually what you want to do is you want to take a break actually because...
Well, no, both are fine, because I'm gonna move around. so-
Okay, great, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're live at ICT EDU at LIT in Thurles, and I'm here talking to Finn and Jack from the Youth Media team. So, Finn, can you tell me what school you're from?
CBS Service here in Paris.
And what is your, do you have a social media way of contacting us? Do you have a website?
The school has a Twitter page, and they have a Facebook page, and they have a website at www.cbsservice.ie.
And what's their Twitter handle?
I'm at CBS Service.
And where do you go to school, Jack?
CBS Service as well.
So, do you know what the Facebook page is?
Yeah, it's just CBS Service.
Okay, so it's facebook.com/CBS.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so what year are you in, Jack?
I'm in first year.
And what year are you in, Finn?
In second year.
You're in second year. So why are you here today, Finn?
Well, it all started a year ago. Pam O'Brien, she got the idea of getting together the Wind team to report live at the ICGU event because the team was children last year in education. So she thought it was a good idea. And then it ended up going really well. And then we ended up going to Dublin to Fair Chat, and then we ended up going to Young Social Innovators down in Limerick and Galway and GMIT, and so that's why we're here basically today because it all started a year ago. Pam got together, and we're still here today.
So, Mark, there might be some people who'll be watching this thinking, well, you're from school, it's a Saturday, you're giving up your time, so why do you find this really interesting?
It's really interesting because you get to learn and use new technology, and there's loads of interesting people here, and all new devices being displayed as well. So it's really interesting, and we get to report live on behalf of LIT. So it's very good. Yeah.
And what tech do you like using?
I like the iPad. I find iPad very easy, and especially the iPad Mini.
Okay, what tech do you
I
like
have
using?
an iPad myself, a larger iPad. I use that every hour of the day, and it's stuck on it, so that's my main device.
And do you think that you use enough tech in school at the moment?
Yeah, because all the teachers, well, the first years next year are getting iPads, so the teachers last year got iPads to get ready for that, to get used to it. So every teacher has an iPad, and they also have an Apple TV, so they can displayed straight on the projector, so you can see exactly what they're doing on their iPads. So next year, first year, they'll be all using iPads, be all their textbooks be iPads. So, and then Mr. O'Donnell, our principal, he was asking us would we be interested in using it in the senior cycle of the school. So if that happens, I don't know, but I'd like to see it happen though.
And Mark, do you think that you use enough tech in school, or would you like to use some more?
We've good facilities in school at the minute, and we've a computer room which is very good. We have a class a week of computers, but I think the technology in our school is very good. And the fact that the fresh years are bringing in the iPads really brings it up a level, and hopefully in years to come it'll be all iPads.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me about it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Sure, thanks a million, lads. You did great.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah. You can take that off now and you can pop that onto the EPUB.
Yeah.
Thanks a million, Ken.
Jeez, that's really,
Yeah.
you gotta charge them for that.
Okay, what? I'm making him look like a character from The Simpsons.
I think it's very accurate.
Two yellow head on there. That would be good.
When I did it first, I was going straight into home anyway.
They did brilliant.
They were great.
Yeah.
Really good.
They're very confident in front of the camera, and it doesn't phase them one bit, does it?
No. And I said to them,
I was thinking you just get some more used to from phones to iPads and everything else to just seeing themselves, because you did with, with version, so it's probably not as daunting as it might have been in a different generation, is it?
I don't know, I was telling them, if you're working with TV, you're always telling people to look over the shoulder and not look at the camera, whereas with YouTube, you've got a direct engagement with the person who's watching, so you have to look at the camera and you have to make that engagement as if you're talking to one person, even if thousands of people watch it. So it's completely different kind of tech and a completely different way of working. And there's that more personal connection, for sure, people are listening and watching, and you get the responses. It's more social. So that's what I was trying to say to them, bear in mind that there's people watching all the time. That's terrible, isn't it?
Big Brother.
Yeah, but it's true.
Yeah.
Mad, isn't it? So it's quiet now until 12:30, is it?
I thought it was quiet until the afternoon before,
After
and
1
then
o'clock, I think it's quiet because there's an hour-long workshop.
Yeah.
All the workshops seem to be an hour long. So,
Yeah.
so they split into different groups and do a different workshop each, is it?
Yeah, I think there's maybe 7 or 8 workshops now, 7 or 8 after lunch, and then back here I think for maybe 3 or something like that. So. See, we're sitting under Barry Manilow in the top trends on Twitter.
Above Barry Manilow. Only Darkness into Light, which actually...
And the house, that event's on today then, it must be.
Yeah, it was this morning.
Okay. I think I brought a small sketchbook. I left in this hotel, I reckon, because it's not on me anymore. But I would have just kept going, just scribbling, calling it for myself, but it would have kept the juices going to facilitate doing whatever I hope. That's what I'm telling myself. Do you do any video in the podcast, or is it purely audio?
Audio, I do a couple of videos, not majorly so. No, I'm uncomfortable doing an awful lot of video because when I work with my hands, you need to have kind of more than one camera, and because I've been moving around in the kitchen, because that's what I do.
Right.
So, for demonstrations and cookery and stuff like that, I'd need a proper studio really to do it. It's not as simple as...
Yeah.
Do you mind me of...
No, I imagine it would.
Actually, it's okay if you guys...
I mean,
Liam normally can't go this long without tea, so you probably want to get tea first.
Oh, tea? Yeah.
Yeah,
I have tea.
I'm allowed to.
Why don't you do that? Can you hang with your Alan? Do you mind, just in case? No one's going to steal any, but it's to knock it over. It's a problem.
I'll charge up my devices with them, you know.
Tell you what, can you put your can we get that last picture in frame? Just open it up on the maybe can you get it lined up now and I don't think it so that's it. Yeah, the strength of the spring in these chairs. Smash me tablet down there.
It's handy if you can mind to walk through. Slice it and I get the 7:20 train, change the schedule, to be down here, teach classes 9.
I just get you to lift it and turn it towards you.
Hard to go all the way to Clonmel to teach, and then the reverse track that night. So I was on a monthly train pass for a long time, 2 years. And it's striking. I was driving today, and I said,
It's hard going, you catch like the train, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I got it. Perfect. Cool. Did you do damage?
I don't think so. Well, I don't know. No visual damage. Doesn't mean anything. Whenever I try and move it, and if you shift too much of the weight, then the chair goes, and then, which is a challenge I hadn't thought of. Really, I could use it like a workstation, but I wasn't thinking I was.
Desk or something like that, even. Yeah.
You know, just a big flat forward that everything has a space. But
Yeah.
I live.
Alan, do you want, are you staying here? Do you want to bring her down to here?
I'll go up and I'll get my lunch in a while. I've got a lunch voucher. Yeah, honest God, yeah, totally fine. Thanks, though. Hi Evelyn, how are you?
You're having a quiet moment.
Quiet moment. Garden all Bernie stuff.
Is that your job?
Yeah, well, for a minute anyway, while he gets a cup of tea.
How are you getting on?
Grand, you?
We met before.
No, but we know each other online. Alan.
Oh, I do know you online. Okay.
Great talk, well done.
Thank you. I'm glad it's over.
I'm sorry to say the cake was the worst part of it.
Oh, good.
The talk was really good. No, it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Really, really good. No.
That cake is really good, but Pam said we'll keep it till later because it's got a 10th birthday. It's got candles on it for the 10. It's like ICT's 10th birthday.
Is that the Youth Media Team surprise they were on about, or what?
I don't think so. No, I don't. Well, it was nothing to do with them anyway. But
fair enough.
They can claim my cake if they want to. So are you doing the course? Are you one of their students?
Yeah, just finished it there Wednesday.
Ooh, you're just finished.
Yeah, so.
Oh man, you're a graduate.
Well, hopefully, yeah, soon.
That's scary, isn't it?
Oh, it is. No, it's like.
You go, shit, what now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like for 3 years, it's just been like this has been your life, and it's just been like you've gone to work, you've been going to college, and now it's just kind of like, okay, you don't have that whole Monday to Friday thing where you were going to college all the week, and it's just kind of like there's a void there, you know.
Definitely. And there's a bit of uncertainty for a while as well, isn't there?
That's it. Like, I think I've kind of been freaking out over the past month. Like, I suppose it's been, yeah, well, like, you know, getting in your thesis and doing wrapping up all your projects and stuff, and then it's just kind of like, as you hand them in, you're there, and it's like, okay, that's done, and then it's kind of like, okay, try and look for a job for yourself, and then you expect just these things to come along, and they mightn't come along, but
I know, and that's really hard.
I suppose all you can do is just keep tipping
away. Yeah, and you can make things happen yourself as well. You know, I think that's what is scary sometimes. But maybe the best time to be making things happen is when you're just out of college. Because I know now there's lots of things I'd love to do, but I'd have to not earn money for a while. And I've got a husband and a daughter and mortgage and 2 cars. Because my husband doesn't really believe in work. He's kind of like he's a good guy, but he's really like we do a bit of work to get a bit of money to live, but living is the thing that matters. And I have to say, he's so good for me, because I'm the other extreme. I'm like, go, 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 go. And then he'll be like, well, I don't want to move it. You know?
Yeah,
you can do that too. You don't have to work all of the time that you are awake. So, yeah, no, we're a good yin and yang, but I do sometimes. I took a very conservative route as soon as I finished college. I immediately went looking for a permanent full-time job.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then I did take a year out. I went back and did a master's in film studies, which is where a lot of the skills that I learned years ago are now relevant to me as I've started kind of entering the online space. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of wonder sometimes. Well, you can still do a lot in your spare time. It's just you always feel kind of envious that you want the balance between your spare time where you're doing this stuff that you love, and it's not true because everything I do online is feeding out of something I do love, which is teaching. But I kind of wish sometimes that if I taught half the number of people and it's taught for half the time, and then I could make their learning experience amazing.
Right.
If I had the other half of the time to plan it and prepare it. And, you know, I constantly have that feeling after 40 minutes where the bell's about to go and I'm like, fuck, there's so much more to do! You know, or trying to do multimedia projects like the ones I was talking about. Very, very difficult when you're just 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's very broken.
It's just
very constraining. Like I think all schools should timetable 2 hours, 2 hours a block in everyone's timetable during the week, where they select to work on something they would like to work on.
That's I think
that'd be amazing.
That's a great idea. I think
even if it was a Friday morning, from 9 until 11, every Friday morning, every student has a choice in their learning. What would you like to do this morning? And some people are here making movies, and some people are here building shit on computers, and some people are out, I don't know, like training football, and some people are, you know, it'd be so amazing, wouldn't it?
It'd be good because I think a lot of people kind of the creativity part you're getting time to do stuff that you enjoy, which means they probably won't feel like school or won't feel like work, and I think that's the key thing.
Yeah, when you're doing something you really enjoy, it does never feel like
it's not a job and it's definitely not work, like because you're just having fun. You just happen to be maybe getting paid for like hours. No.
yeah. And have you got an area of multimedia you're particularly interested in?
I did time, I worked with World Irish there 3 years ago. When I was going there, I was like, kids, don't just spend it's going to be like social media and digital marketing and stuff. I became a journalist afterwards. And I absolutely loved it. But it's not your traditional journalism where you're out in the beat and you're going to this funny. It's using Twitter, it's using Facebook, Google, Vimeo, everything that's online. Mining down through it and finding stuff that...
Like a curator.
Yeah, people don't know what it is. Like, you know, grab a video that people haven't seen. Like with World Irish, it was news, but with an Irish angle.
So finding content that people mightn't have been brought to their attention.
Exactly. Videos with maybe, I don't know, 20 views, and it's been uploaded maybe 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. I might have been uploaded that morning of like a time lapse of Bray.
Yeah.
And it's like, we'll grab it and we'll throw maybe 100 or 200 words into it and send it out. And like, what we were doing then with stories like that was building a community. So
because they knew that you were a central hub for a type of story or a type of information.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating the way you often don't end up going to an individual to find things. You end up going to a place where you're going to be a hub of a certain thing.
Yeah, because I suppose you become this reliable source that like, oh, they've got this image of the day, or they've got this phrase of the day, or they always have a great video or great content. Like,
I worry about that a little bit though, from the perspective of my website is Leaders of English, and sometimes I think, oh Jesus, we hit something if I don't have something up on the website on X, Y, or Z to do with Macbeth, or whatever. Do they think that means?
that's the flip side of it as well.
You know, and always towards the exams, I'll put something up and say, remember, I'm just one place. I'm just one place where you can get what you need. And I always do this thing as well, cover my ass, just because I'm terrified of it. I'll do lists of kind of sample questions that can come up on the play or on whatever, and I'll try to be as completely anally, like, include everything that could possibly come up, so that people realize just because I might have 15, 20 resources on Macbeth, that doesn't mean that everything that could possibly come up is on my blog, because how would I do that?
Yeah.
Because you have people who know that and who will use central hubs for a particular thing, like World Irish or BuzzFeed or whatever it is. But they also have an awareness that everything creates the big picture. But you have some people who sometimes think this is the picture. Like LivingSouthEnglish.net, well, it's called Living South English, so it must cover everything to do with Living South English. But, well, Jesus, like, no, it's just a blog.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not my job, it's just a hobby. And that kind of scares me sometimes. Because when it's something like, cool time-lapse videos of Bray or whatever, the stakes are low. They're just sitting there enjoying something.
Yeah.
If
you're writing something that, like, with you're writing an opinion piece or something like that, people are going to read your opinion piece and be like, I trust that person.
Therefore, I agree with their opinion.
And then, yeah, I agree with their opinion. So I think that's another big kind of worms to open another day. But, like,
it's really interesting, though, isn't it?
People get online and they'll go on Facebook and they'll see something of some story from halfway across the world about some puppy that lost its leg, and oh, if you don't like this page, this puppy will lose its other leg and he will be drawing a cart around on his two back
changing
legs.
the world one Facebook like at a time.
Do
how stupid do you have to be? Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, I suppose that is the flip side of becoming a trusted source and becoming.
And are there opportunities out there?
I'm sure there are. Like I know, I've been kind of trying to talk to people in Storyful. I like what they do. Absolutely love what they do, and you don't see a lot of it. I don't think a lot of people realise kind of the extent of what work they do.
Have you seen their TED talk?
With Malcolm Nolan about how to find it's
mind blowing.
Like when I looked at that, I had worked at World Irish and I had learned, because I worked with, I don't know if you know Blonde Healy.
No.
She used to work with RT. She was our boss with the
Right,
content team. But what happened was when I went there, she taught us she taught me anyway, because I was only there for 3 months. She taught me this is how you mine for news, and you have to verify, you have to make sure that it's actually real.
Yeah.
And you then, you contact the person and say, here, is there any chance we can use your video or
Yeah,
picture or whatever.
And most people go, yeah, don't they?
Not a bother to them. Yeah, I think we done a team image of the day. We were somewhere back in college with a couple of photographers. I was like, hi, Mary, can I use your image that you took today of that beautiful sunrise and whatever? Yeah, great. It's great for them. People are getting exposure.
Yeah.
You know?
The only problem with that is when it gets to the point where everything you do is for exposure, then you're not getting paid at all. Like, it's like a really interesting one where you want things to come in and you want people to use your content, whatever. But then, if it gets to a point where you actually can't, like, make a living.
Yeah.
So
you become this go-to person who's like, oh, go to
Yeah.
John there. John will
Because that's
give you
happened
free
to me
stuff.
with News Talk a bit. The News Talk website with the education stuff. And so I've been on the phone a few times with the last couple of times. I know because what's happening to me is saving and it's still classes to do. So I could finish them right. And I then spend kind of an hour researching whatever it was that they wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And they bring me mortified, which I'm not going to discuss whatever it was, because I would never go on publicly speaking about something unless I was confident that I was going to say. But I mean, I could have been writing copies, or I could have been doing preparation for the next day, and collecting the order. It gets a little bit, you can get a little bit overwhelming then, because you're adding effectively an hour of work to your day.
Yeah.
By saying yes. They're not paying me. They're not giving me anything to do. They're just going, oh, it's exposure for you. And I'm like, well, I'm fairly exposed now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but then on the other hand, when I go to my blog stats, every time I go on it, I see this spike. But then it's like, they say that the reason people get addicted to Twitter and Facebook is because it's a dopamine rush. Like every time you get a Twitter
you
thing,
yeah.
you get a little, you actually get
validated.
it. Yeah. But so I'm kind of trying to learn a balance between saying yes and saying no. Like you do something like this and you feel it's just really worthwhile.
Oh, massively.
What you get out of it, and what you learn out of it, and everything, it's really worthwhile. But every time George Oakshire rings you and asks you to go an hour, they're asking you to go on the radio for 10 minutes, but really they're asking for an hour of your time for free. And when you look at it like that, you go, well, I'm really fucking busy. And I don't mean, I'm not being like,
you're getting shortchanged.
Yeah, well, I'm being busy with bullshit. Like, I'm being busy with stuff that just has to get done, like correcting copies, airing classes, copying. It's, and you see, then the other thing is, it's like a trade-off because, there's like an adrenaline rush of being on the radio, whatever, and then people tweeting, I heard you in George Hook, and whereas the other stuff is kind of done, correct your copies and photocopy the stuff you need and collect your daughter from after school and get her homework done. But all that stuff, it's like, you need to do that to be a good mother and to be a good teacher, and and the other stuff is like that kind of that emotional wheel that you get onto, and you're like,
That's it, tough, that's it.
So it's funny. And Kieran Cannon was saying to me today about the Excited Conference that you can get against May, and so will you come? And I said, is it on during the school day? Trying to laugh. I said, it's Friday evening, it's actually, so that's fine. I can't take it off. And I've been asked to do things where I want to take it. Then it's like, you're asking me to give up a little bit for free, which is fair enough if I want to do it and all that. But then, I'm kind of shortchanging my students if I'm just not in class.
Yeah.
When you were in school and there was a sub-teacher in. And,
just kind of, or else you're sent off to someone else's class.
Whatever.
Go away with what you know today. Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas if you have a relationship with the teacher and you respect them, you're listening to them, engage with them.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to negotiate, is the space between doing things that you love. But if you constantly do things that you love for free, and it either stops you from making a living or makes you take time away from, I'm not saying every minute I'm awake has to be devoted to teaching, but what's good for me, I suppose, is that there's an overlap between my passions and my job. So my blog is arising from my passion, which is the thing that I get paid to do. So that's the ideal scenario. But there are still bits of my teaching job that are boring as fuck. I still do.
Yeah, it really is the balance of like, you know,
Yeah.
trying to say no. Like I was at, there was a startup event on yesterday in Limerick in Well. I went to that as well, and there was a talk there, and someone said, what was it? If you're asked to work for free, the worst thing startups do is say yes all the time. So I think that applies to everyone. I think it's like you can't say yes to everything. There's only so long you can go along.
Or I think you'd have to give it a time limit. You know, you'd say, I'm happy to work for free for 6 months. I'm happy to work for free for 9 months.
Yeah.
And you kind of, especially when you're starting out, because for me, I suppose it's a bit easier because I'm 11 years in the job, so I can say to someone, look, if you want me, that's fine, but I've got a lot of experience in that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas there's that, I remember when I started teaching and I was trying to get a job, and I couldn't get a job, and frustration, I was like, Jesus Christ. You know, and then I was like, and people would be like, oh, you didn't have any experience. Because that's the most annoying thing to hear when you just graduate, you don't have any experience. Like, how am I going to get any experience? You don't give me any. But on the other hand, now I'm kind of like, well, I suppose I can see how you definitely, as you said, like working for World Irish, just practical mind was, oh, you know, you learn so much in a practical scenario.
Yeah.
You know, I've been dying to go to like, I was having my breakfast this morning and I was drinking after. Stop drinking. Juice is like a diuretic. You give it to kids if they're not well because it flushes through your system really fast, which I've just discovered. Lovely to talk to you.
You too, Evelyn.
Oh, I'm texting my husband. Well, this is how it should go.
Grand, you?
Take something if you go busted, you want to go and off and get your lunch or a cup of tea or anything. I'll keep an eye on the stuff here.
Alright, for a few minutes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, honestly, no, thanks though. Just a lovely chat with Evelyn O'Connor.
Yeah, she's lovely, isn't she?
Really nice. Yeah, it's really, really nice. It's interesting because she sat down and she's like, "Have we met before?" And I was like, "No, but we chat away on Twitter all the time."
Yeah.
So,
Kind of dead up there now.
yeah, everyone's still in classes and stuff.
Mm. Yeah.
What's on the menu?
I don't know. Smelled vegetable based. Probably sleeping stand-up.
Probably.
Do you work here or?
No, I don't work at all. I'm a student. I'm actually one of born student. I go to, well, I finished on Wednesday, but I used to go to college in Clonmel. So I just said I'd come up here for the day and see what it's like.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you know what you intend to do now when you're finished? Or?
Don't know yet. I'm uncertain. I kind of, there's so many things I'd like to do, and I don't want to take a step off in the wrong direction and just jump into something. I want to. I don't know. I don't want. It's not that I want to be perfect. I want to kind of have a sense of purpose when I do make a sense and know where I want to go if I do take something. You know. So. Yeah. I don't know what I want to do yet.
What did you specialise in?
There wasn't really, I suppose there wasn't a specialising in our college. It was kind of more, this is how you do it, and you know, like we've done everything from programming, video, photography, animation, graphic design, blogging, media writing, you know, loads of kind of stuff. So we're kind of jacks of all trades when we come out of it. So.
Which is brilliant.
That's why it's so open, like, you know. I worked with World Irish 2 years ago.
Oh, so you know friend Una.
Oh, my camera, yeah. Yeah, I worked with Una, yeah.
Sure, it's only other friend. Here's tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant, very good. Yeah, I worked with Una for 3 months, yeah. Herself and Blonid, Dara Doyle.
Yeah.
Who else was there?
Would have been fairly small 2 years ago.
There was, yeah. There was a couple of the Storyful guys over it as well. Shane Creevy, Della Kilroy, Megan. Who else was there? I think they hired a lot of people in just before I left, like the likes of Dave Malloy, Mark Farrelly, people like those. But yeah, no, I get 3 months with him, and it wasn't even work. It was
fantastic.
Absolutely, just loved it. Like my routine while I was there, I kept my weekend job at home on as well. So I was doing Monday to Friday in Dublin. I was jumping on a train at 5 o'clock on Friday evening, getting home, seeing ourselves then high, and then getting back up Saturday morning, going to work then as well for Saturday and Sunday, and then back to Dublin Sunday evening. So it was just, you know, but I was in my element. I was just absolutely loved it up there.
Sure, it's not there anymore.
But that's it, like, you know, that's it.
You did at Ireland as well, didn't you?
No. I mean, I signed up on the World Irish and
Did you curate the Ireland Twitter?
No. I was talking about going for it. I was talking to Una. I fancied getting a national bus ticket both sides of the border and going around, but getting off the bus an awful lot rather than just traveling for a day and going somewhere. Using the people on Twitter and drawing, because you could do a lot of drawing and stuff like that. That's what I was gearing towards, and it was going to have to be February this year. I'm a carer, primary carer these days at home, and that basically wiped it out. I just didn't get the chance to go. I was talking about coordinator with her, if I could put my name down and go for it then. I was nervous over if I was doing anything artistic of being accused of self-promoting. Oh yeah. To the numbers, but I was wary of some of the reactions of promotion and so forth. So but it is what it is. And
I'm sure if you contacted Dara, I'm sure.
No, I see the things and that. I it's just now gone to the back of the list, and it's hard to get the things at the back of the list nowadays. But it was close to the front.
I'd definitely be interested in seeing something like that for the week anyway. I think it'd be great.
I did it 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure Bernie was the first one.
That's right, yeah.
That's very rare as you count.
Yeah.
Oh, you got place. Bernie went up to him. He went up to me in January. Bernie had this idea for Ad Ireland because it was just sitting there. It was just knocking out all these paperly tweets. You know, whatever daily is out, the Ireland daily is out. Bernie approached me and just goes, "Do you want Ad Ireland? Do you want to do it like a rotation, curation, stuff like that?" They were like, "Yeah." And it was one catch, take Ireland for 3 months, and that was it. And off it went.
It's really fantastic.
Oh, I took it over there just for Christmas. It's amazing. It's you know, you have, of course, when you do take it over, you whatever you say or whatever you do, there's always someone that doesn't like you and doesn't like your tweet. And I had no sooner took over the account and you're looking at tweets that said, "Oh my God, I'm not following this person because of X, Y, and Z."
All the time.
You know, all you can do is just ignore it and just get on with it, because the people that do engage with it are just, it's such a community. I don't think anyone realises until they have it Usually when you're looking at it, it's just a load of tweets from
No.
John Doe and
I have a fantastic friend.
yeah.
Because I did it when I was running a small project. So, like, because we were doing a community-based summer project. I was volunteering and I was running it. So we were taking the kids out and about and showing them community and building social skills and all
I
that
remember
sort of
that.
stuff. And the reaction was just fantastic. It was brilliant. And it was great, like, for people to see other people doing, like, working in the community and stuff with kids, that just as it was, like, there was no agenda, it was like, this is what we do. And
Yeah.
it was really, really good. I had a brilliant experience doing it. Recommend it.
Oh yeah, big time, yeah. There have been, I think what I tried to do with mine was it was the week before Christmas.
Yeah.
Just give me Christmas things.
Yeah.
Just show me your Christmas tree. Just show what
Yeah.
rituals do you have for Christmas? How far are you travelling home for this Christmas to Ireland or whatever? But I think there was some weeks there and people were just pushing their agendas. Like there was, I don't know, people like John McGurk or Everett Fox, is that his name? Like, I'm not into politics, I don't get into that whole argument. I'm just of this mind where everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You can do what you like as long as you're happy and you don't upset anyone else by pushing your views down their throat with a hammer or something like that. Go be happy, do what you like, but I think a lot of people when they get the accounts just kind of like, right, I'm on here for a week, I'm going to stir up some shit, you know.
Well, I suppose it's like what Adam said at the start, there's agitations.
Yeah. Yeah, big time. You know.
I mean, the picture of the account is long term. Long term, you look at it, whether it's 1 year or 5 years, and look at it, and then you get a picture of so much.
Yeah.
When you concentrate on 1 week, it's going to be skewed depending on who or what is doing something that week. But it's always being a curated account. It's always meant to be a complete mixing up, isn't it? And then overall, people should have a flavour of something, whatever that something is.
Yeah.
We've already juice left in it.
Would anyone like anything back from Kenty?
I'm grand.
No,
Thanks a
thanks.
million.
Very much.
Dave, if you want to eat lunch now, serve it. Isn't it 1 o'clock or something? We get to beat the crowd.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for that.
I think I want to make sure I got to remind myself to arrange to get you a lift down there, because it's going to be easier just to have you just ready to go. Have a taxi out there or something. Because I'll be noticed if I leave, I think.
Right. Yeah.
So I've got to remind myself to do that.
Well, I'm generally going to be just 2 minutes, like, and then I can go. I imagine, like, at any point.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of
okay,
I'm contained.
Yeah, you're.
Bernie, what's the best email address for you?
With what?
What's the best email address for you?
Use the Gmail one.
What is it? Bernie
Bicobach. Yeah. I hate this. Poor little laptop's been through a lot of shit. Now, as soon as I plug this in, it'll probably freeze. Something's wrong with these USB hooks on this side. Really makes me nervous.
Have you had that laptop long?
4 years.
Oh.
There's something physically wrong. It's like it's just a short. So I'll probably just freeze the whole thing. Ooh, it didn't. That's good news.
Right, where's the pins there? Oh no, they left me. Look at that. Alright, alright.
What has he actually been doing?
Okay, he was sketching the book. Grab the book if you see what he's done. The big watercolor moleskin is there somewhere.
I think it's no, there it is. No, you're good. There you go.
Thank you. So can we?
He's done that, plus he's done the small one.
Is this ours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dylan started drawing. I pulled some pages out of it. So he's done that. Where's this? It's the small one up there, Katrina.
The Wandering one.
The small, yeah.
I'm not sure actually. Hang on just a second.
Maybe he took it with him.
There is a small one, just there. Where did I see a small one?
I have
Oh no, that's yours.
Oh, here's it. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
so you do this one now. This answers the question on how to get here.
Okay.
Here, the other way.
Oh yeah.
So they only do one. I thought they did two.
Is it two?
Okay. Oh, okay, I thought they did two. All right, yeah, he's people. I'm trying to get people to sit with him to answer that question. I've asked Catherine if she'd mind, and that's just part of that Wandering Moleskin project.
Okay. Can I take pictures of these?
Yeah.
This is ours to keep then, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I wonder if we could try and do something for a future. I'll keep it as this is 2014.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, good. Well, dang, you got it.
Are you happy enough with me now? With me? Is that working as you wanted to?
Yeah, well, yeah, but you know, trust.
Yeah. I've had to step back from it because I can't keep. You know, I don't know. The walk were pretty well
Yeah, it's hard to get buzz on
inspired. Right, I'll tweet out some of those things. That happy thing is nearly sorted as well, so
that. Cool.
we're getting there.
Overtook Barry Manilow.
What was the story on that?
What's that?
Why's Barry trending?
I haven't a clue. He's probably dead again.
Hang on now, my check. I just dropped my leap card. Really bad. Wait a second. So I don't know whether you want that little black notebook back or anything.
No. What I'd like to do is just
I've just sent you buckets there anyway.
the next thing is like just let you know the next time I'm in Dublin last Thursday, Friday of May, which is probably too late. I'll try to do something before then, but could do something on the phone as well. But I mean, like, I haven't actually looked at the call, the BAI call, but they have a different call every quarter. What I need to have happen by the middle of June is if we're going to do it, we should put stuff in pilot mode this summer, or get a bunch of episodes cut this summer. And the episodes might just be audio, but I mean, it fits video mode totally. And you're basically talking about something that you basically have one part of it done, which is a station saying, we'll air that. Now they probably want community TV stuff, so they want video, right? It's community television now. So it takes time to cut to film that. You're talking, we need to plan that. What are we trying to do? Are we trying just to do one 10-minute pilot? Or are we going to try to do several segments?
20, what is it, 26 minutes we need?
Well, how many of them?
Last shot to me.
Yes, if you fill a season, the typical, well, Archie, if you're going to fund it, you're going to get the max money from you. You're probably going to get funding for 10 of them.
Ian was talking about pilot, so I'll talk to him.
No, the pilot's fine, but see, on the back of that, though, I'm telling you as well, you know, as I honestly believe, you can figure out how much money is associated, but I think there's 10 to 15,000 euro waiting for 6 24-minute audio episodes. That's fast. So if the pilot's not going to be funded, but the other one is, then
Do both at the same time.
yes. So now it's back to the BAI. What are they calling for? And can we do what they're calling for in 6 weeks before the middle of August? So that'd be a pilot plus 6 episodes.
For me, it's a childcare issue more so than anything else.
No, I know.
I mean, I'm gone all next weekend. I'll be down in Cork all next weekend. So.
I'll be trying to do this thing like during. I mean, I could.
Well, you see, it's ideal for me to do it over the summer as well, because obviously, like, John works to similar as you would. So when he'd still be working over the summer, it would be different hours. So he's not in structured school hours. Then over the summer, so it's a little bit easier for me to.
Okay, well, it's got to get done because it's so timely. Books timely, interest timely. It's so timely, and let's sit down and say, okay, what are we going to try to do?
Yeah.
Cut our cloth fit, try to get done.
Yeah.
It's worth doing.
Yeah, no, it is worth doing. Like, I mean, obviously it's worth doing. I mean, like Tuesday morning now again, I'm on air. So, like, very clearly there's demand. There's call to action on Tuesday morning.
Yeah. I need to get this thing ready for my thing because otherwise my handle freezes here. But there's a whole amplification process that, like with Pam and with you, with Alan is probably better than anybody. When you go online, like I don't know, are you using anything beyond like Hootsuite or TweetDeck? Do you do anything else? Do you use any other mechanism to look and see what your footprint is?
As in Twitter cards?
No, like something like a paid software package.
I don't monitor it at all.
Yeah.
Because it's irrelevant to me.
No, but food isn't.
Oh
see,
no, I know.
See, what you end up doing is, like what I see is I have like custom searches looking up, and I'm paying like $58 a month for this one package, and it's just really potent. So when we make the decision that we're going to do this, I would switch the monitoring that I was looking at to the strand of the 5-word identities I was talking about.
Yeah, because
get in their thought space because they become your amplifiers.
Because what I've sent you there has the 5-word identities for 4 that are the top keyword searches that bring people to my site at the moment and what people look for.
Well, I'd hope to make those episodes, man.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
So, like, that's what I've done. I've just gone into my data there and I've just pulled out what's relevant and what I think.
Yeah.
And I've put a format. I've mailed it over to you now in PDF. So when you get a chance to go through it.
No, I will. And then let's make a plan.
Not today, but
make a plan tomorrow. The next thing is, like, figure out when the group of us can get together.
Yeah.
I'd say no later than the last Friday of May. But I mean, if it can be before that, figure out which day is possible. I can get up to there.
We can figure it out. We can I can see what he's up to, and like because he has an in there as well. So like between all of us.
This is a 2-hour working lunch as I see it somewhere.
Yeah, I'll talk to him and see when he's free, and then we'll figure it out. I'm kind of like totally out the door between this week and next and the weekend. And
well, that's fine though. That's fine. Like, so now you're talking, but let's try to nail it before the end of May.
Yeah, no, I'd rather, because I think that, see, for me, anyway, the biggest issue recently has been timing, because it came at the right time, and it is timely, and if things don't happen in the right time, then it'll fall by the wayside, because it won't be relevant anymore. So we either act while it's still relevant, or it becomes less relevant, and if it's less relevant, it's less interesting.
Yeah, this will work.
Yeah.
I got my thing here, but I mean, we're in the right space. I mean, like, I won't be upset if you leave right now. Take a saunter down there, but I mean, the lunch is here. You're paid for lunch.
No.
And like I said, I just want to make sure. Hey, Alan. These are always, it's like Christmas. See, it's Christmas. It's red. It's Christmas.
Red envelopes.
Alan got a surprise envelope from, what's it, Blue Chief?
Blue Chief.
You know them?
No.
I'll let them open through there. Tell her, 'cause I don't know the whole background either.
So, during the week, I was kind of...
Wait a minute, tell her where, did you told Katrina what she used to do?
You told me when he's working there.
Did you know what she used to do? Because she probably doesn't know your background.
We've chatted.
We have a good.
Yeah.
I used to work with Una and Katrina and Una and stuff. So, during the week, I got a tweet. Congratulations, you won a ticket to such and such an event.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, but I didn't enter anything.
Yeah.
No, just send us your email address and then we'll send you on your ticket.
Yeah.
Sent it on, got my ticket, got the Eventbrite link, the whole lot. Went to the event yesterday, and the company that organised it, their CEO came up to me and he was going, "Hi, you're on." I goes, "Yes." I goes, "Hi, I'm CEO, blah blah blah." I'm like, okay. You kind of won the ticket, so you could come over and talk to me. And I was like, okay. Yeah, we might have an opening there in our company. We're wondering, would you like to come work for us? I was like, depends what type of a role you have.
Mm.
And he named off a rake of roles that they have in the company and stuff like that. And there was one or two that white suiting. So just give me a shout, someone or two, and we'll sort out something. And I was like, okay. It's like, it goes from you won your ticket to promoted you to come out here, so you talk to us, you know, but it's just from just being online, just, you know, without it, it was like, you know, I wouldn't have had it, you know.
I wouldn't, without blogging, without having an online profile, I wouldn't have the book. Did you see the book?
I haven't seen the book.
Bernie, so it's down here. Hang on there.
It's down,
yeah. I'll go around the other way so I don't knock.
Okay. That's very nice. I'm going for Bavarian kitchen on the butters, like that. Homemade baked beans.
Mm-hmm. It's one of my most popular recipes, actually.
Put some in.
And you like to talk to someone.
All yourself. Roll all everything in, just.
On my kitchen table with my two kids from them. And if I didn't have an online presence, if I didn't have a blog, if I didn't have community, that wouldn't happen. Because publishers nowadays, unless you have an absolutely amazing writing skill, they don't want to know. So, they like you would have to have like hands down, like, you know, stop people in their tracks kind of writing ability. Whereas with that, with something like that, you know, you get yourself out there and people read your stuff and you build a community, and then you build a community because people want to read what you have to say. Like, you don't, like, people don't come back if they think you're crap. So so when I approached the publisher this time last year and asked them if they'd be interested, they came back within the next working days.
Because they went and drew up and found out about John.
Apparently they were reading it.
Oh, okay.
They were. So that's what happens. Because they're like, if you don't put yourself out there, you know.
You won't be on.
No. Did you get lunch?
I did, thanks. Yeah.
What did you go for?
Pardon?
What did you go for?
I went for beef stroganoff.
What are you saying?
They're charging a lot more for that. And there's a real animosity between the catering here and planning staff. They're charging way too much. And they won't let us bring in anything. Because under our contract, nothing else can be brought in here.
Really?
Mm. And like a couple years ago, they really messed up simple things like the tea. Yeah, just. You're still broadcasting, yeah? Oh god, yeah. But I didn't mention anybody's name. We don't know where we are actually. No. I don't know. I pulled out my modem back and forth, so I think it's maybe trouble.
Yeah, so if you don't,
One of the organisers came to me in the kitchen and said, "You're the illustrator. You must come and do a drawing of me and one of the other organisers." Pam. It wasn't Pam, no. It was
Maria.
We were in the kitchen. Someone and Paula, whoever was at the front and stuff. I said, "I'll see what I can do." Bear in mind, that's not what I do. God, what is the? I wonder who it is. Huh.
well, there you go. So that's an example of what can happen if you.
This fella badgers, right? Where he doesn't badger.
Can't believe him.
He shows the students, like, when I went back to college because I had an interest in graphic design and Photoshop. And the first time I met Bernie, I won't lie, I thought you were a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
Because you were so sure of yourself. I was like, I want to do graphic design, and Bernie was just this multimedia storyteller, and I was like, oh, you're going to get paid for that. You're not going to get paid for that. You know, I was proved wrong. I'd done 3 years in college, and by just, taking part in the class, doing certain things, and just developing an interest in something, and go, very far.
People can tell if they're not talented or not as well. Like they do. I think people are very intuitive.
Yeah.
So those who are watching can tell. They definitely can.
Oh yeah, massively. Massively. It's interesting though when you go and everything's online, you're chatting to people online, and when you actually meet them, then I think it just opens up a whole other side of a relationship that you've just had with someone, online. Mm. You kind of get a feel of kind of what the true person is, rather than, judging them from kind of the tone of their tweets or the tone of their messages they might send and stuff like that, So, life matters, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true because you kind of have to have the combination of the two, like the combination of the old community and the new community. I actually spoke about that at Con.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's on again, you know.
It is, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it was very, very good last year. You didn't this year?
Yeah.
Possibly, I wasn't at last year, and I think, what's his name?
Owen.
Owen. Yeah, Owen was down recently in the campus. He's a genius.
Yes,
an absolute genius.
Sorry, I'm interested. Are Coder Dojo here?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, I think they are. Pam, did you talk to Pam?
This year, I didn't go last
Pam O'Brien.
Last year's first.
She's a dojo.
But it was very good. Last year really was. It was very good. It was cold and dank and wet, and it was totally like aliens to what most of us would be used to.
Turns out this little key thing, it's got like 50 gigs of stuff on it that I can't get rid of, so I have to.
That's always going to happen. I think I see more new pictures
try
as
to
well.
use this guy.
Everyone's sitting around the table.
It should work out alright.
And it's like,
now I gotta check it.
The best way you can have a conversation. Everyone just sits around.
So what happened is I didn't notice, I was saving this up really fast. I never noticed that.
Express themselves and say what they need to say. And
actually
talk
say
about it. So.
Try again.
gonna make this thing so it has the busy bees logo and stuff in it next time.
Okay. Oh, there you are.
It's feedback to that.
Yeah. I was going to say, or why is it now?
Oh yeah, that was, I changed my handle there not so long ago. Just because some people got confused because I had an uppercase I in my name, so it looked like ALAN or YAN,
Okay. Yeah.
because Alan Ryan was already gone.
Yeah.
But I just said I'd change it back just because, yeah.
Those kids are really just, you can just tell you're beautiful.
You come back from work, yeah?
Yeah, it doesn't need to go half an hour of me talking. There's all the stuff I've mentioned to you about. I want to do pedagogy, educational psychology, and all that stuff. I didn't get a chance to put it in there, but I will. It doesn't have to be, actually. And I think the conversation in the rooms will be like there'll be some stunned silence. People will wait a minute. And then you show the books, you show that stuff. So I have like a photo stream will have. I'll show the stuff that's online and where it is. I think that would be great. Can I get my phone?
Right, well guys, I'm going to head on. Thank you very much, Bernie.
Yeah, you're welcome. Stay in touch.
You have my email,
Okay.
all the content now, so whenever you get a chance over the next 2 days, I'll talk to you about it.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Alan.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Talking to you again. Are you going working in Dublin or down?
I'll be Limerick. See what happens. Go from there. You know. By all means, if I'm in Dublin, I'll be
There's plenty of them.
That's it. That's what I loved as well, I think, about when I was up for 3 months.
Yeah.
It's just like going to something every second night or something like that. There's always something on.
Well, I actually went to go to an art stuff, but it just so happened that it was on the Saturday or something. And it was, did you see the leading guerrilla marketing thing?
No, I heard something about it, but I didn't look into it.
They did, basically there's, I got the press release there, at least on I put it in the website to manage, called Secret Garden, which is public in Temple Bar in Newton Square.
Just big books.
And they,
I'm taking a little book to go to the event.
They sent out invites and there was tweets leaks and then there was 3 sittings. There was 1 sitting at lunch and 2 sittings in the afternoon. But I invited the press dinner on Thursday evening and about this afternoon with her. And I did, 6 courses tasting. It's really, really interesting. Lovely food, Irish food, very tasty. And we got to the end and the desserts came out and then videotape started rolling and the Lidl logo was blown up and put on the wall in Newton Square, and then the Lidl marketing team came out and they were a restaurant was food from Lidl and they had sponsored it and they had taken all the fees raised from paying for the meals over the week, which was €12,000, and they had then matched it and they were donating €20,000 to Pakistan.
Oh my God. Brilliant.
Just ingenious.
I saw the video.
Did you?
Yeah,
I was there, like I was literally sitting there as they were reviewing it. Like the press night we were the first ones to find out, and I was just because I mean
very well done. It was nicely done. Yeah.
the food was lovely, and it was €20 for 6 courses in Lehman and €10 for 3 courses in Washington.
Yeah. Great seeing companies like that though, you know, do something out of the box and just, you know, and I know it's probably doggy world now, kind of trying to get your brand or your company noticed and seen and stuff. Stuff like that is, you know.
And what's really interesting is the legal team, they don't employ external people. They do it all in-house. So that's what makes legal more interesting. So like obviously they contract out versus Patreon with the build, but in general, like, which is even more interesting.
Brilliant.
So perfect. So that's kind of, and I just thought it was going to be a first night at a pop-up restaurant.
You do, Jeff?
Yeah, but in a good way, like, you know?
Yeah.
Listen, I'll leave you to it. Enjoy yourselves for the rest of the afternoon. It's a short time in the train, actually. Very short.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, I will. Peace and
Talk to you soon.
See you.
Bye. Mark.
I'm in a permanent state of wanting to go for the Jacks. I presume there's a Jacks just up there, isn't it?
Just up there, it's the last door on the right hand side. Just as you go out, we'll say into the.
Just alright, I can see it,
yeah.
I think. So is it talks from 3 o'clock? There's one at 3, one at half 3, one at 4, one at half 4 pretty much.
There's one at. Yeah, the things go on until 4:45. We have 2 more keynotes then from Julie Cullen and Helen Keegan between 4 and 5 o'clock. and closing the marks in from James Hunt. So, I don't know. Another good 2 hours to wait anyway.
Right.
Perfect.
Which is shit, you shit, you don't want to sit in your chair.
Whatever.
Whatever it's for you now, you're looking forward, whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want.
You can appropriate that part.
Yeah. Thanks a minute, move along.
That's.
Good morning. On this Sunday, I'm at my car at Top Gold. We're currently like looking over the shoulder of the lecture hall and share stuff. How is it presented? How is it presented? Or just like you told that we're going to go on to conferences or something or watercolor paper, and something.
She's like moving from one to the other as well.
Beautiful. You reckon, Masha?
When did you arrive here? Yesterday. Oh, I was lovely yesterday. We were having it last night.
And are you away then this evening?
Yeah, back up to Dublin. Oh, God. And then we up with a couple of ex-students. Oh, lovely. Very nice. Yeah.
So this is something.
Internet cable.
No, we're running off Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I think.
Not good.
Yeah, I don't know how to get off that one. I'm on to mine. See, it's on this one here. You see the screen? So I don't know how to disconnect the screen. It says laptop on that one, but.
Oh, we've got a couple of hours to look.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Don't get into it. Yeah, I need to print mine out as well then. Just pictures. Only pictures. Okay, it's not. I'm not going straight up for I've done some.
Has the camera actually been able to see marks that we're making as we're making them pretty much, or just the fact in general that something's going on?
What's that?
Has the camera been able to see in detail what's going on, when it's happening, or is it being
No, it's just kind of been over your shoulder. I suppose.
Or is it just a general thing of it? Like, yeah.
Stab and give him briefly. And no one has taken a stab at it.
I think they're holding on to that for later because it's the 10th birthday.
Oh, would I be one of those awful people if I had a slice and be like, "Where's the cake?"
I saw nothing if you give me some.
Oh, isn't she very good at liquors? Now I have to go and get cake. Is it a little bit crackly? Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah.
Sounds perfect. Yeah.
Hello, how are you? Hi, Crack.
Quiet space, very flat. And procrastinate on Twitter when you're supposed to be writing your keynote. Hey, it's drafted, okay? It's drafted.
Are you getting sorted?
Kind of. What do you need? The display to show a teacher screen.
I know, you're a teacher, I'm not being funny.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
Have the ideas.
That's it. I have, what have I got? I have 6 slides and I have pictures in each one. So I'm just going to talk, kind of nearly talk you through it, you know? Oh, there it is, yeah, that's it. So I'm hoping that just maybe 3 or 4 minutes on each side. Actually, it's not too bad for an English teacher because I know, I was going to say no, this is all because I'm moving stuff. I do have meetings that have to coordinate. It's a very small class. Course is done, so it's just revision for me from here on out. So all it is revision, exam papers, preparation, you know. It's not too busy for me. It's a nice time here.
Did you fill in Barney's Little Moleskin? Did you write something in there?
I filled in one of the, I think it was the second book.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
He gave it to me
and
said that
This is part of the Wondering thing, is it?
Yeah. So it's like, our question was, show your journey or what's your future?
Okay.
So it was like you had to draw kind of where you came from on one page, so you had 2 pages each.
Okay.
Where you came from on one page, where you're heading, or where you'd like to think that you're heading on the second page. So yeah, no, there's some really good ones. I think I got it towards the end, so I got to see like maybe 20 other students kind of ideas, so it was interesting.
Yeah, it is.
And it was in Clonmel 2 or 3 weeks ago on the Thursday, and the following day it was in Georgia. Yeah. You know, it was kind of for someone else to fill it in and them to do their bits.
Oh, let's see.
It's an interesting project. It's, you know, and I think it's supposed to take photos as well of each page, and I think it's on a Flickr site as well. It's on a page that's kind of hashtagged with 102 or 101, and in this case 103.
Yeah, we were talking about
Well done. Nice work.
Oh, just seeing them.
So it's just interesting as well to see everybody's kind of perceptions of themselves as well. You know, when you're asked a question of like, where were you, where will you be?
Ah, yeah.
You know.
But I mean, it's broad enough to allow a million kind of answers, isn't it? So
That's it. And you see everyone's different styles then of getting their message across. Like, you know, one of the lads that I go to college with, he wrote on one page, this page is intentionally left blank. And on the other one, then he put in some quote from someone.
I almost did that once on, you know, those various cows that people have painted around the world and you have cities. So a good few years before they came to Dublin, I was living in America, and they came to the city I was living in, Kansas City, and I did one in using the Book of Kells as a theme, I suppose. In 2 ways. One, I wanted the cow to look like it could be just a little cow in the picture, and secondly, that the patterns on it were like the bigger patterns from the various pages. As a result, rather than having panels on each of the legs and the face and then the arse and the others, I had one big one on each side, but one of them I never got to, and I just needed like 1 more hour after doing it for a month to write an ancient script. I wanted to write this page left intentionally blank, but I didn't actually was left blank on one side. Now there was enough other stuff that it was just like a panel, people didn't question it and stuff. I mean, I saw it in the park it was at, and I overheard people going, oh, let's look at the Aztec cow, or let's look at the Egyptian cow, but no one ever said, why is this bit blank? So, but I do regret that I didn't spend those few moments to write out an extra script that's pageless. That's blank.
That would have been brilliant.
And I want to get something printed, is that possible?
Yeah, if you talk to
Ancient Irish script.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
You need it.
Lovely.
He's an Oscar, I
What's the live stream?
Oh, it's not live.
No, it's not live.
You're recording.
Yes.
That's no, it's what Joy, you obviously can't.
Yeah, no, that was one of this week's stresses, and then I was like, you know what?
Not at all.
It's a stress you don't need, so, you know, treat it.
It normally happens.
No, it's fine to treat it, you're
Yeah,
right.
with my trains then.
No big deal.
Hang on, are you familiar with here? I get mixed up with your background. Are you familiar with
No,
here?
I'm there.
Yeah.
What time is it for
5:39.
5:39. Here's supposed to be over at roughly 5 o'clock. I'm sure Corny could drop you off. It's not that far.
Yeah, well, you're saying that, but he was then getting a bit nervous about instead of leaving me early, not rushing and stuff. But it's only a few minutes, isn't it?
So a few minutes up that way, I'd say you probably walk it maybe 15 or 20.
All right.
You know.
So if I left at 5:10, it should be grand.
Should go at the time, I'd say, yeah.
So if they finish up at 5 or still a few minutes, I should be fine.
Yeah.
Because just grab and go
Yeah, it's
into.
literally up the road and to walk over like the stairs to get onto the right platform, but that's about it. Like
That's right. Yeah, that's when you're coming in. Yeah.
yeah.
It's in motion now, you're just up with you actually, it's actually out of your hands now, it's in motion.
I was thinking there was such a gap in the middle, you'd be ashamed to leave before one of the end. Mind you, I might be saying that depending on whatever I do. Because the first one didn't work. I mean, another day it could have worked. Sometimes you can just go with the line and it's less is better. But Brendan was right. I mean, he used the word excite quite a lot. He used Dublin Castle, you know, it's quite predictive stuff, but it's hard to draw, and I didn't have a picture of Dublin Castle in my head. If it's in Trinity, I could have drawn Trinity. You're controversial this week.
Yeah, tiny bit.
I'm pushing away the symbol that's on the podium and on the thing behind it and on the tablecloth is not the same as the symbol on that one hanging down.
Which one? This one?
The one on the tablecloth, the red thing for LIT,
Yeah.
and the one on the back hanging up, the one on the podium and the one on the back low down, they're all the same, but this one, white on red,
Yeah.
is different. Even if you reverse the red or the white or whatever you do.
Yes.
I think what they've done with that is the composition of the overhead plans of their premises that they have.
Right.
And they've twisted it around into, we'll say, a circle. You know, they've kind of formed it around to it looks like
everyone's is awesome.
A circle, for want of a better word.
But why does that one look different? What's happened to their plans?
We didn't take it on, we did learn, so.
It's a bit strange, alright.
When you get that it's like,
We've met that thing as well, that they've turned it.
I was going, it was a turn 45 degrees, but it seems not quite. That explains some of it.
Yeah.
Does it explain all of it? 45 degrees?
I don't think so. It's missing.
No, it doesn't.
It's missing one or two bits of it as well.
It is. That's what was bugging me all morning.
We should tweet him. What's going on here? Why is it this way?
My head is exploding.
Yeah, exactly.
Which ones? You're on somebody's target. Yeah. 10 minutes. The light.
You don't need that.
So you haven't saw this, the program, the first program, so.
Yeah. Now we actually,
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because I've even just,
It's there.
it stopped the room, taking out the bag.
That's it, yeah,
the
yeah,
things
no,
aside,
absolutely, yeah, that's one point of it,
Great.
actually, I took it on,
And the little, the short drives, right?
that was inspired yesterday.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
Taking it through, huh?
That's Pauline, huh? These things will not happen without me. I will talk to you.
We'll talk to you later.
Helen and Julie need to get sorted on here. Yeah, just to make sure they can, play what they need to play in.
There's one up there.
And then I think Tom Diggs needs you for something as well. Okay. Oh, right.
You've been hardly for long, huh?
No.
Working Monday morning?
There we go.
Oh, good, okay. Didn't even give you a little Wednesday or anything.
Yeah, what's your name?
Ed.
Where are you from?
I work in Dublin.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, but every guess I remember the name. Don Enda, D-O-N-E-N-D-A. Oh, no, don't worry, you need to start, I promise. No, I didn't give it that long. I know what you mean. No, I remember, I knew a man who was funny, but I remember it was Catherine. This conference for the Filter conference last year, she was saying, I think it was fantastic. When did you come over? Were you here for last night?
Yeah, I arrived yesterday.
Where did you fly into?
Dublin from Manchester. And yeah, I'll try and it's nice. Oh, yeah, it's grand.
English is well dry. I don't see what. Perfect.
Yeah, do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Evelyn was making a similar point.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you, I'm there too. Even college, actually college would be far
College,
worse.
nothing.
College would be far worse.
Thank God we didn't.
Oh, we didn't miss it by that much.
No, we didn't. We just got
College
in.
would have been awful. Whatever about one of the things now.
I don't believe the evidence of my teenage acne and lots of
It is
you know.
resolution. But I would talk, God, it's incredible. I will still find every year we have a couple of students on here, so despite 8 mornings.
Yeah.
It is.
What? Exactly, kind of saying all this little crap.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it would, but you have
Well,
to
yeah.
go for that. You know what I mean? That's just if you're a big boy now.
Yeah.
But just it's just something simple. Just
Jesus. You're joking.
I know.
I get-
but
I-
it is cop on to you
Yeah,
now. It's
yeah.
not something.
I get this all the time with like friends on Facebook. Or 2 months off in your face.
The media will love you for that.
Yeah. Oh, it does my head in. But I've seen some stupid things like she's friends. And yeah. No, I'm stuff going on, and after something. Well, then myself, I say the New York Times just even though it is public teacher to do this, but I don't follow the line, and if you want to know what I'm in, sorry, my but if they were to talk to me, I think I might find some.
I know, yeah, I do. Yeah, exactly. I'm actually from the very start. But in a way, it's probably good discipline anyway.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, this is one that I want to
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, you're right on that.
Any plans for the summer?
You're going to Portugal for a few weeks.
Oh,
you're not there after. Yeah. Honestly, better than 1 week in Ireland. So it's, yeah, looking forward to it. What about you?
We are going to go on holidays, but we don't have plans.
Right.
You know what? So basically, change the vision.
So we're going, we just
Yeah.
we've done that.
I was hoping to go to Malta this year with the Erasmus Plus.
Yes, someone else.
But, yeah, I was hoping, they got the application in and everything, but it turns out the science department put it in as well for some science thing, and we didn't realise we had two. So they were very good to contact us and they said,
Yeah.
I said, listen, really good for ours, it's no problem, because to be honest with you, it was an ICT course, but it's
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
I've seen the specs.
Yeah. Oh, it's very, very like big-ish. So it was more for the fact that we. So whereas the science one was a year-long project, ended up taking 10 years. So hopefully they'll get it. But yeah, so hopefully Malta this year.
It's nice. Very nice. The weather's fantastic.
Is it? Yeah.
Going to any talks, Julia? Are you going to sit and prepare?
I just need to get this printed and then I'll head somewhere.
I know
I can have my watch just wandering now.
the end is nice, but the rest you can then again modify, thinking, no changing.
Yeah, you want to check your phone start.
I'll probably end up getting
See you later, Andrew.
Take care. And good luck if I'm not talking to you.
Thank you.
Just checking that everything is screenshot, not working. Yeah, so, yeah, to be honest, I'll just make sure everything's a screenshot though. Oh god, no. That's the problem. There's two websites that I want to two websites. Show. Yes. And then it's not showing the whole page, just this link. It's links in PowerPoint that go to a web page, but the problem is when we go to the browser, it automatically is adjusting the resolution, so you're not seeing the whole web page in the browser. There's something in the system that we can set in, isn't it? If we change it to VGA, it's okay for a minute. So, yeah, did that before, and then it's okay. That's just brightness, it's not resolution. So that, I mean, that's fine. That's fine now, but then. So this now that's the resolution I need it to be, which is great. But then as soon as we go back to the PowerPoint, it loses that res. Well, right, I'm on 6% charge, so I'm going to have to go on. What's that? I'll give it a try. I'm just going to have to get to my power cable, yeah. Have you got that? Really? No. No, I've lent the cable to someone, so I need to get it through there.
Hello.
There's a handheld mic there from the ceiling staff. Here, you want to see staff? You want to see staff? Come on. Yeah, here you go.
I can't think of any songs. I can't think of any songs. This is so loud. I didn't know what to say. Kira, sing something. What do you want me to sing? What song do you know? Okay, you have to sing now. No. Okay, fine. If I sing, then what do you sing? If you sing, then I'm gonna do cartwheels. Okay, I'll introduce you, then you go up there, and you sit down in the audience. Okay, so you go up going to put that down. Tell us about the show. Sarah's doing gymnastics. Sarah's doing a gymnastics show. Back and then Sarah. Yeah. 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 Okay.
Very good.
Here.
That's it.
Okay, now, what is it?
Sorry, we're looking at paying you today, but we will need a receipt if that's okay.
Okay.
Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a automatic setup.
Can you send us an email?
I can email you something.
Yeah.
Can you do it tonight?
Yeah, that's fine. If you just talk to the girls at reception at registration and they'll sort you out and then we'll get the...
Thanks, yeah.
Hey.
Yes, okay, basically the problem is that when I go from, so say here, there's an interesting link out to the website. It changes the resolutions that has it on the moving back the web. Yeah. So the only way I can see to do it is to like manually go to display screens. I have to do that each time in order to. So it's
So can we do it as well, try to use Google?
yeah, give it a try. I'll just need to. I'll close everything. I'll save all my links so that the browsers have only got those into again. But I mean, God knows. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's doing that.
It's probably, it's just the same, it's just resolution, the DDA, and forget your handles.
We get it sorted?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try. We've got a bit of time. What time does it start? Yeah. Oh shit. Right. Okay. Let me just.